We earned our flag. What did you do for yours other than be homophobic?
So what would you do right now in Ukraine if you were the president?
Putin uses the N-word. I call it the N-word. He uses the N-word, the nuclear word, all the time. That's a no-no. You're not supposed to do that. He uses it on a daily basis. And everybody's so afraid, so afraid, so afraid. And as they're afraid, he uses it more and more. That's why he's doing the kind of things he's doing. He's doing them because he thinks nobody's going to ever attack us because they're all stupid and they're afraid to talk about it.
I totally agree with you.
Okay?
So what would you do
and instead of, excuse me, it's a little complicated.
I'm sorry.
Instead of, kowtowing, instead of Biden saying, oh, he's got nuclear weapons. He keeps saying he's got we have better weapons. We have the greatest submarine power in history.
So what would you say and do?
I would say we have far more than you do, far more powerful than you, and you can't use that word ever again. You cannot use the nuclear word ever again. And if you do, we're going to have problems.
So neopronouns are any set of pronouns that aren't officially recognized in the language that you use. Someone might use neopronouns because officially recognized pronouns might give them dysphoria, or using neos could give someone gender euphoria. I use them because they give me euphoria, because I really enjoy confusing people with my gender identity, which sounds kind of weird, but it gives me euphoria, so whatever. I really like using they, them, and fair in conversation, like when I'm talking, and I really like using bun, self, like if I'm texting someone, or I guess just on the internet. That's the way I like using them. So an example of fair pronouns could be, I really like fair jacket today. It's fair favorite color. Faye like the color purple. And an example of bun self pronouns could be, Bun showed up on my For You page today. Bun really likes using neopronouns for bun self.
Are you willing to stipulate that all the other abortions are bad? Just rape and incest bother you?
I mean, no, I believe a woman should have the right to move
Got
on.
it. So it's an excuse, right? So it's an excuse so that we can say that, so that we can take the marginal case and then say that the marginal case applies to all cases. Okay, that's again faulty thinking. But if you want me to answer specifically on rape and incest, here is my basic answer: rapists should be castrated or killed. You shouldn't kill babies. End of story.
But are they ever castrated and killed? Most rapists don't even get convicted.
I agree, and that's usually the left side of the aisle because the left side wants to let them out after 5 years in prison. I want them castrated or killed. I'm telling you what my belief is. My belief is not public policy at the moment. But I think, would you agree with me on that one? Can we at least get a little agreement to finish this particular parlay? Okay, should rapists be castrated or killed?
Well, yes.
Okay, good, yeah, okay, we agree. Thanks.
As an American citizen, I find it truly disgusting that my country goes 40 steps forward just for people like the governor in Florida to take us 30 steps backwards. Don't say gay, Bill. Are you serious? Don't talk about what I went through and what my fellow gay LGBTQ plus community went through to get me here. Are you serious right now? Is the government sleeping? Why are they letting you do this? Isn't this the free country, the free world, freedom of speech? Don't say gay. That goes against freedom of speech. You cannot sit here and say being gay is not a choice when you're not gay. You don't know that. Now you want to make learning about our history illegal? You are literally making it harder for children to feel comfortable because conservative parents feel like it's not okay. They're not gay. It's not their place to talk about it. Stop being concerned with what other people like. This is disgusting. Ew.
Okay, stop being concerned with what other people like. Also, I want to indoctrinate your kids. Stop getting in other people's business. Also, conservative parents, shut up. The freedom of speech of this person has not been in any way compromised. In fact, the freedom of screaming like a crazy person of this person has not been compromised in any way. All of the well-calibrated emotional responses to a pretty baseline bill about not sexually indoctrinating children seems to have some people pretty upset, which says more about them than it does about the bill.
Welcome to part 4 of A Day in the Life of Me, a radical left birthing person. So today we're taking my daughter for gender reassignment surgery because she likes wearing blue and playing with trucks. First I thought we'd stop by the drag bar with my precious impressionable kids. I asked my daughter if she wanted to wear her seatbelt, but she said no, so I respect her choice. Then I took a hot second to be mad about being pregnant. Like, consent to unprotected sex does not mean consent to pregnancy. But shout out to Justin for his carbon tax that gave us this right here. My daughter wouldn't hold my hand in the parking lot, but her body, her choice. And then I put on my seatbelt to protect the other drivers on the road.
Trans men are men, and some trans men have periods. Therefore, you do not have to be a woman in order to have a uterus, which means you do not have to be a woman to have a period. I don't know how else to explain this to you. It's pretty clear. I'll say it once, and I'll say it multiple times. Google's free, completely free. Unless you're out of minutes or something. Go to a Starbucks, log into the free Wi-Fi. Google's free, okay?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm going to show you some books in my 3rd grade classroom with LGBTQ representation because representation matters. Pride, the story of Harvey Milk and the rainbow flag, is a true story of how the rainbow flag came to be a symbol of the LGBTQ community and what it means to that community today. Julian is a Mermaid and Pink is for Boys are 2 stories that challenge gender stereotypes and encourage boys to be who they want to be and to not conform to what society tells them that they have to. A Family is a Family is a Family is a story about all kinds of different family structures and what it really means to be a part of a family. Ho'onani Hula Warrior is a story of a non-binary person who challenges gender roles to kind of discover who they are on their journey to become a hula warrior. Let me know if you have any more recommendations.
What the hell is wrong with you?
So if someone comes to you, young as fuck, being like, listen, I was given this gender, but I do not feel like this gender. I really wish that I could live as another. Who are you to say you're incorrect?
A parent.
All social pressure incentivizes people to claim oppression and victimhood and to deny their own privileges. This creates ever-multiplying victim groups, false victim groups like these people. This creates ever-multiplying racial victims. I know, you're so oppressed, my dears. I know, life is so hard for you. You have to live in the richest, most equitable, most just country in the history of the world. You have to get a college education. You have to voluntarily go to lectures. It's so awful. I can't imagine that, you know, the people who are in war-torn nations, they must truly pity you. Goodbye then. Disagrees. I didn't think I was this intimidated. I believe that gentleman just threw paint on me. That's what happens when you assault people, by the way, folks.
Liberal feminists freaking out in their cars and then for some reason posting it on the internet. This is a real issue and it must be addressed.
Why can't women have abortions? I just saw a pro-life sign driving down the road having a mental breakdown. And I just want to say, all you people are so fierce.
Can you understand a single word of this? I heard abortion.
Stop bringing these kids into horrible homes just because you're pro-birth. You're stupid. And I wish I had been aborted. Maybe we can talk about it later.
That was the most articulate one at the end.
Does it say that in the bill? Does it say that in the bill? I'm asking you to tell me what's in the bill because you are pushing false narratives. It's why people don't trust people like you because you peddle false narratives.
Disney CEO Bob Chapek weighing in on that Florida bill.
The company has been opposed to the bill from the outset.
The chance that I am going to back down from my commitment to students and back down from my commitment to parents' rights simply because of fraudulent media narratives or pressure from woke corporations, the chances of that are zero. How do they possibly explain lining their pockets with their relationship from the Communist Party of China? Because that's what they do, and they make a fortune. They don't say a word. Our policy is going to be based on the best interest of Florida citizens not on the musing of woke corporations.
I think that at the heart of my philosophy is much more libertarianism than
well, that's the fashionable word these days, I guess. A conservative is no longer just that. He's a libertarian.
Well, always has been. Because how do we call a liberal? You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism. And what is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation. Well, isn't this the liberal philosophy? The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
No, you said whites are the most violent and oppressive people.
Well, yeah.
That's what you said in your film.
And if you're going to go back
so that
to
would seem to me that
statistics point that out too.
Really? Well,
yes.
The Chinese were massacring Chinese and other races long before they'd ever met a white person. Attila the Hun wasn't white. It's the same in the subcontinent if you go back hundreds of years as well. The genocide in Rwanda was black on black. So is the Congo, which is the rape capital of the world.
When it comes to education, the whole system needs to change.
But let me look at education. Let's look at the figures on education. 33% of white kids go to university or further education. 37% of black kids go to university or further education. 67% of Indian kids go to university or further education. 76% of Chinese kids go to university or further education.